Hey, YouTubers, good morning, it's Robb Moffett. Guys, I just finished installing an external hard drive that took about 30 seconds, and now it backs up all my work. It's something I've been thinking about doing for years. I know I should have done, and sooner or later the computer's going to break, as they have in the past. This one's close to 7 or 8 years old compact. But I can't believe how quick it was and how simple and how much benefit I get from it for something that didn't take any time. I don't know why I didn't do it. And I started thinking about all the other things in life that are like that. There are so many things that we can benefit from that we know we should do that take a small amount of time or are very easy. So I made a quick list that are relative to me in my situation in life. I thought maybe you might be interested in. Real quick, starting off, installing an external backup for the computer. I'll leave a link to some videos on YouTube that show you really easily how you can connect with the Windows 10 now, so it automatically backs up your stuff. It's a no-brainer. Takes seconds, and you can get 2 or 4 terabyte hard drive external for very small amount of money nowadays. It's incredible. So I don't know why anyone would do. I don't know why anyone wouldn't do it. Next is make and hide spare keys. I was thinking about this the other day. I no longer have my spare keys under the car like I used to. One of the worst days of my life, as far as going to the beach, was losing my keys at the beach. And what happened? It was a long, long story, but it was a terrible incident. A lot of bad things happened that day, and I just didn't have spare keys on me. So you can buy or make a little device to hold spare keys on your car, for your car, apartment, house, and you're good to go. If you ever lose them, no sweat. It makes life a lot simpler. It only takes a few minutes to do. Yeah, like I said, you can buy the little boxes with magnets on eBay for a couple bucks. Next, have dental, eye, and medical checkups. So many people have insurance, they don't take advantage of this. Or they don't have insurance, but they don't realize you can get like dental checkups or eye checkups for a very small amount of money. I had to get some glasses for reading, and I was tired of buying the ones at the dollar store, so I bought the ones on Zenny online for $6.95. But you had to get a prescription first. So I went to the eye doctor at Walmart. While I was there, I found I have blepharitis, and it's something that had been going on for a long time. So I'm now taking care of it, but if I'd caught it earlier, it would have been better. So you want to take advantage of these things and nip them in the bud. It's like dental health. Your teeth have such a big impact on the rest of your body. If you have infections in your teeth, you can get inflammation in the rest of your body, in your heart and so on, and cause you big problems. More and more we're finding inflammation is a big cause of a lot of diseases. And if you have constant inflammation in your mouth and your teeth, it leads to inflammation in other parts of your body. So you want to go and get these things checked at your dentist and your eye doctor and your regular checkups at your medical doctor. I know people hate doing it, but it's something, if you have insurance, you just pick up the phone, make the appointment, as you're done. You know, if you don't have insurance, like I said, the eye doctor and the dentist don't really cost that much. You can check around just for checkups. Next, have a will. That's something I'm telling you I don't have. I don't have one that's finalized. Anyway, it's something that takes a very small amount of time, not a lot of money, and saves a lot of grief. Won't be saving you any grief, but your relatives, yeah. I can tell you stories. Next, check who's your beneficiary. I've heard of people that when they were married, had girlfriends, boyfriends, they put them in their beneficiary for their insurance or mutual funds or investments, and then they got married maybe second, third time, something happens and they go to dispense with the will and what's left of the person's estate, and now the money goes to someone that no one expected. It's not a happy story. Check who you left as your beneficiary 20 years ago. You may be surprised. You may not want it going to your first husband. The funeral alliance. You're going to spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 on a funeral. But if you go to check, almost every state in the country has a funeral alliance. You can join, cost $15, $20, $30. and once you're in there for life or death. When you die, your family calls a number, gives them your funeral alliance account number, and they give you the information about what's the least expensive funeral arrangements in your area that they align themselves with the funeral alliance to give people breaks. You can probably get embalming and cremation for very small amounts of money, and instead of spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a funeral, you could spend probably $1,000. So that's something you can do. Look up online, go to Google, and in a few minutes you can join the funeral alliance and save your family tons of bucks. Next, wax your car. If you're a visitor or a person who subscribes to my channel, you're probably a tightwad like I am, and you keep things for a long time. I have a car that's old. It's a 94 Corolla, but it still runs great. I just put a new tire. I did a tune-up. It runs great, but the outside is terrible. It looks like it's been on the moon. It's like the paint is all messed up. It's all toasted. It's a red car. I found out they don't put a lot of stuff in the red paint, the dye or something they put in the other paints. If you want to keep your car in a certain color, don't buy a red one. They don't last in the sun for as long as the other colors. But you can't expect stuff to last for 25 years if you don't take care of them. And that's what happened. There was a period in my life when things were kind of bad for me and I didn't pay much attention to my car. And it was getting out of shape. And I didn't catch it when I should have. And now the pain is just totally gone. It's like trying to get hair after you're bald. Not that you can keep from getting bald, but you can keep your car from getting messed up. And that's what I didn't do. I could have taken better care of it. You want to max your car, you'll regret not taking care of the paint in your car, because eventually you'll have a car maybe that is mechanically sound, it's a good car, but the paint job will cost you more than what it's worth retail. So you're in a bad situation. Next, check your credit and your Social Security history. A lot of people don't realize that there's things going on with their credit, and if they find it early enough, they can take care of it. People are messing around, doing things with their account, with their identity. Check your credit history and your Social Security history when you can, because sometimes your Social Security account is messed up and you don't get enough credit for the money you've put in. But change your diet. There are so many diets out there. There are so many people talking about different things. I found the best thing in the world to do is just to make a conscious decision to change to eating things that are nutritionally dense. If you have a choice between 2 or 3 different things, eat the thing that has the most nutrition. And by doing that, eventually you'll start weeding out things, the sugar and the flour and all the stuff that doesn't have any nutrition to it. And you'll be switching to things that are better for you. And it won't really be a diet. It'll just be a choice you're making. Find enjoyable, frequent physical activity. I love rowing. I used to live on the bay. I rowed all the time, but not in many places you can do that. But it was something I could continue to do the rest of my life if I could. If you like gardening, if you like bicycling, there's all sorts of different things you can do every day by yourself with others. Find something you can enjoy, do every day, even if it's just walking the dog. There's so many people. I live in a 55 and over community, and there's hundreds, maybe thousands of apartments. I walk every day, twice a day, maybe 3 times with the dog. I see the same 6 people all the time. Nobody walks. They're all inside watching TV. You're sitting in a chair. Of course, you're going to die from something. So maybe I'm trying to stay healthy in one way, and I'm going to get killed from something else. So we're going to go one way or the other. But you want to stay healthy as long as you can, physically fit and active. Try to find something you could do. It's very simple. Once you get into the habit of doing something you like to do, that's good for you. It doesn't take long to try different things. You just make the conscious decision, the willpower to do it. Find what you like to do and do it. Take advantage of what's offered or available. I don't know how many stories I have where I could have taken advantage of things that were available and I didn't do it. Like when I was a youngster, working my first job, they had profit sharing. I didn't take advantage of it for 3 years because I didn't realize why they would give me something for free. Right? Well, you don't give something for nothing. There's got to be a catch. So 3 years I could have had profit sharing, putting money in when that money would really grow the most is when you're the youngest, and I didn't take advantage of it. I remember when I was young, we had a big huge yard of dozens and dozens of fruit trees. We had so much citrus. I remember shooting with a BB gun. Now I think I was an idiot. I was young. Well, what can I say? But you want to take advantage of what's offered to you or what's available, and not just waste things. Or On the other hand, I remember when I had my sailboat, there was like 18 other boats on the dock. I went out more than all the other boats combined. Of course, they had motors and they had outdrives usually that were working on them, where I could fix my sailboat with wood and fiberglass and wire, and it was easy. But take advantage. I lived out on the beach. I went to the beach every day. I couldn't imagine how many people live in my neighborhood. I never saw the beach. Why spend all that money to be right next to the ocean and never go? So take advantage of whatever you have that's available in your community. Realize what blessings you have and start being aware of them and thankful, enjoy them every day, and you'll have a lot better life. I don't know what gives me the right to preach to you. I don't want to sound like I'm preaching. I'm just trying to I can hear people clicking unsubscribing right now. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what's worked for me. Learn to use a firearm. Now there's more people on clicking. I think everybody should buy a firearm, learn how to use it, keep it locked away. It's like a parachute. You never want to use one. You hope you never have to use one. But if you do, you really need a parachute. You're happy you've got one. Keep it locked away. Know how to use it. Have plenty of ammo. Look, you got people living in Venezuela. 15 years ago, it was a perfectly wonderful modern country. Largest amount of petroleum reserves in the whole world. Now the country, the people eating the animals at the zoo. You never know what's going to happen 5, 10, 15 years down the road. Get a firearm, learn how to use it, keep it locked away if something happens. When I was a kid, we had the riots in Miami. I was living in my grandma's trailer with her for a few weeks before I went out on the ship. We had the riots. The town we lived in was a really bad part of town, and there was smoke and fire. The National Guard came and locked down the area. You couldn't get in, couldn't get out. There was no help from the police. For two and a half days, we were just locked in there. No help from nobody. We had just some neighbors standing in front of the doors of their trailers holding their guns, waiting for something bad to happen. It was not good. Not a happy time. You don't expect those things to happen, but if they do, you want to have something that you can protect yourself. Learn family history from your elders before they're gone. A couple things you find out when you get older. Nobody wants your stuff. Nobody wants to hear your stories. Interestingly enough, though, as you get older, you're more interested in the stories of your elders you wish you had asked them or learned about. Your stories become more valuable to you, and the stories you wish you had learned from the people your ancestors, to people who gone on before you wish you knew more about them. It's odd. Try to find out more about your elders, what happened to them, what they did in their life. It gives you encouragement and courage in your own life to find out the things that happened to your family, that they thrived and survived. Learn first aid. Instead of watching The Bachelor or South Park, although I do like South Park, learn first aid. You never know when it's going to come in handy. It doesn't take that long. The title of this video is Easy Things to Do. It's not easy to learn first aid. There's going to be some time involved, where the other things, it really doesn't take a lot of time. But I think it's something you should do. It's very important. Ask them out. If you're a young person, there's people in your life you wish you were involved with, ask them out. Don't wait. I can tell you stories. I remember there was this girl. I was like 36. She was like 21. She liked me. I liked her. She was gorgeous. I didn't know why she liked me. I thought she was too young for me. I was insane. I have no idea why I was so stupid. Right now, she's living with someone happily married, and he's like 17 years older than her, and he weighs about 50 pounds more than I do. And I'm not saying I'm more handsome, but I'll say it anyway. I was an idiot. You like somebody, take a chance, ask them out. Don't make up excuses. Life goes by in a flicker. It's all over. You regret things later. Not being with people you could have been with. It's something that shouldn't happen. It doesn't take long to ask people out. You're not going to die. And if you're a girl, you can ask the guy out. You don't have to wait for him. Ask them out. Last one is, this is an easy one. All these are pretty easy to do. I mean, as far as time goes, it's not easy to ask someone out. It's not easy at all. But go to places and have adventures when you have the opportunity. I remember I worked for this old lady. One of the first jobs I ever had, plant nursery. She was ancient. I was a kid. And she would tell me stories. And I think the most regrettable things that ever happened to her in life. Her and her husband, they were young. He was a cab driver, and she worked at. They bought a piece of land, and they made a nursery. But one day, some friends asked them to go to Alaska and live for a while, and they never did it. And she wanted to, but her husband didn't want to, and she regretted it the rest of her life. Whenever she talked about it, you could see her face changed. She would always say, "Bob, people ask you to go somewhere, you need to go." And I kind of think she's right. If you have an opportunity to take off and go somewhere and have adventures, you want to do them while you still can. So it's not easy to do like the others, like waxing your car or changing your diet or having a will. But yeah, you want to have more adventures. So those are my 16 easy things to do you regret one day if you don't. Starting with installing an external backup for your computer. Doesn't take a lot of money, doesn't take much time, you won't regret it. Guys, hope you like this little video. It's kind of different than what I usually do, but I just thought I'd throw it out there, see what you all think, and come back, put new stuff on every week, and see you out there. And have some adventures, and ask them out. Hey guys, I forgot to ask you if you can come up with any ideas you'd add to your list of things you think you should do. If you don't, you're going to regret later. I'd be interested to hear. Don't forget, I put out new stuff every week, and got over 600 videos, and y'all come back, put new stuff on all the time. Take care. See you out there.